talk about how to enter in a horoscope. You see, I'll tell you. Can anybody tell me, supposing I give a horoscope, how will anybody start?
Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, why not?
So you said in China horoscope that Mercury will lose sixth lordship, right?
Yes.
So then the Mercury should be good for China because it won't give disease.
No, my dear sir. It will give disease because it is losing the lordship. You are reversing it. It becomes very weak. Sixth house becomes very weak. The owner is not there. The ownership is lost.
Okay.
It becomes negative, extremely negative. And that is why, let me tell you one more thing. You know, the Spanish flu also started from China. People are, just saying that China manipulated. China is not manipulated. It is the horoscope is like that. China is prone to diseases. And every time Rahu and Ketu will come over this Jupiter, I can forecast now. After 18 years again, China will have problem. But it depends what type of eclipse takes place. If the cluster of 6 planets is there, China may get ruined. But if the cluster of planets is not there, then the intensity will be less. If you have seen the chart of 28 December 1917, there were 5 planets in the eclipse, and Rahu and Ketu were there in there. Rahu was in the Mula Nakshatra and Ketu was in the Ardhara Nakshatra, and it created hell. 33 crores people had died in that Spanish flu, and it continued for 268 odd days. This time I expect this will continue for 288 days. Because the intensity here is slightly lower because Rahu and Ketu at the time of eclipse were, Ketu was not in Mula Nakshatra. Ketu joined Mula Nakshatra on the 12th of February. So the intensity of the virus increased after 8th. First of all 8th when Mars joined Sagittarius, and then after 12th when Ketu changed the Nakshatra. And peak 22nd of March and then peak up to 23rd of April. Is going to be very difficult, and if I have written to Prime Minister but nobody listens here
how you calculate 288 days?
Pardon me?
How you calculate 288 days?
288 days from 26th of December.
How you calculated 288 days?
But till Ketu leaves the sign. Ketu leaves the sign Sagittarius and is out of Gandant on 27th.
Is there any logic behind 288 days?
No logic, because Ketu is the disease karka, and the eclipse has taken place in the Mula Nakshatra. So Ketu, till Ketu leaves that sign, the disease will not be over. It is, and if you understand about Mula Nakshatra, then you will not put this question. Mula Nakshatra is the most dangerous nakshatra. It is what is Adhomukh and Urdhomukh? It is a Adhomukh nakshatra, going inside, and it removes everything from the roots. So what is happening? People have been removed from the roots. People are losing their jobs. Business, all people are losing. And especially those people will be losing more who have planets in the Sagittarius and Gemini. This 21st June eclipse is still very bad because the sun and moon are in very close degrees with Rahu. Rahu is 4.54 degrees and sun and moon are at 6 degrees. And Mars is aspecting them, and Mars will aspect them degree wise on the between 28th and 30th. And 30th June, Jupiter will fall back. So simultaneously so many things are happening. That is the time of relapse. The relapse may not. You see, the difference between the Spanish flu and this coronavirus is, I will tell you what is the difference. In the case of Spanish flu, Rahu and Ketu were there in their own nakshatras at the time of the eclipse. Here the saving is that Ketu was in Purvashada nakshatra. It was not in Mula nakshatra. If it had been in Mula nakshatra, it would have been extremely bad. But it has entered Mula nakshatra, so till it leaves the Mula nakshatra, you have no respite. And then we have 6 planets, there were 5 planets. So it is absolutely an identical phenomena, And if you see it 102 years back, multiple of 17. So another thing is, let me tell you here, since this gentleman has put a question, you see, we should take the LCM of the slow moving planets. Jupiter, the declination of Jupiter is 12, declination of Saturn is 30, and Rahu Ketu you take as 18. So it comes to, the declination point comes to 30 degrees. So every 30 degrees, every 30 years, there is some, the planets come in the same position, but you have to see the rest of the planets, how they are placed. Now, why is 72nd year of India is the worst? Because in the declination, Sun, Venus, Jupiter, all these 3 planets have come on the same natal place. And
Can you
Sun,
open the India horoscope?
India horoscope is of Taurus Lagna, and Sun is with, there are 5 planets in the 3rd house in Cancer sign. And Venus is totally combusted. The Lagna Lord is combusted. So what will happen? The automobile industry is suffering because of that. The suffering is there. The Lagna Lord is suffering. The country is suffering. The Sun and Saturn is not at the declination point, but Sun is at declination point, and then Jupiter as the 8th Lord, it is placed in the 6th house. So it is bound to bring some diseases, very simple. And then the 8th house is 22nd Dreshon, it is a Kharesh, so it has to bring, and the Dasha of Moon Jupiter just ended, and Moon Saturn has started from the 10th of December. Moon Saturn Dasha is a Vishyo, and if you know the analysis of Rudram's chart, which is called the D11 chart, in Rudram's chart, the sign rising is Aquarius, and the Lagna Lord is placed in the 8th house, and Ketu, Rahu and Mars are placed in the Lagna. And at the time of independence, the Dasha was Saturn, Ketu, and we know there was a bloodshed. So similar planetary positions are coming, Moon, Saturn, Ketu, from the 30th of hello, 30th of June, the Dasha of India, 30th of May, the Dasha of India will be Moon, Saturn, Ketu, extremely bad for violence, for all this whatever is happening, and this violence and this virus, both very bad for India till 7th of June or 7th of July, because this Moon, Saturn and Ketu Dasha will be very bad, not only for the virus but for the other things also, for this violence, whatever is happening, the resentment shown by these other people, you know it, the Nizamuddin, what has happened, 3,400 people collected there, and they are trying to go against the rules and regulations, and they want to spread the coronavirus. So we were talking about the third subject. Can anybody tell me how?
Sir, I have a question. Sir, in 8th house in India's horoscope, there is an eclipse, no?
Yes. 8th house is eclipse. One more thing.
क्यों नहीं हुई 8th house में? हाँ जी.
एक चीज और भी तो है, आपको वो भूल रहे हैं, मैंने आपको बताया, इट इज द 22nd Dreshkon house. 22nd Dreshkon house is Kharesh. It is the worst planet. So eclipse not only taking place in the 8th house, it is taking place where the worst things can happen. You follow? Hello, I was asking, supposing a horoscope is there, how will you start? Hello? हॉरोस्कोप इज गिवन, कहां से स्टार्ट करेंगे, कैसे स्टार्ट करेंगे? कोई हॉरोस्कोप दिया जाता है तो उसको कैसे देखोगे, कहां से स्टार्ट करोगे? वेरी गुड, तुम तो पढ़े हुए हो ना मेरे से, तुम नहीं बोलो. और वो बताओ ना, चलो आप बता दो, आपको मालूम है तो आप एक्सप्लेन कर दो. हेलो, एक्सप्लेन करो आप रजत. Hello, you see, when a woman goes on a family way, it is, you see, the Atma enters from the 5th house of the horoscope. And then when the development of the child takes place, when the Atma reaches the 4th house. And when the baby is born, then the Atma reaches the Lagna. You know, when the baby is born, it can't do anything. So the 10th house is not activated. You know, in the horoscope, all the 11 houses are activated, but the 10th house is not activated. That is why from the birth chart, you cannot find out what are his present karmas. You can only say that there is a possibility that this may happen. But the 10th, how would you confirm the 10th house? Because the 10th house is not activated at birth. So all that has to be seen from the Prashna chart, from the dynamic chart. Birth chart is a static chart. So, joining with the, or you can say the transit, applying the transit, the Prashna, and seeing what is his karmas. So what happens? The life is just like a pendulum of watch. The pendulum keeps on touching from the Lagna is the fulcrum, the free will of our life, and the pendulum keeps on touching the 5th house, 7th house, and the 9th house. And what is the 5th house? 9th from 9th. And what is the 9th house? 5th from 5th. And what is the 7th house? What is the 7th house? 7th from Lagna is 7th from 7th. Okay. So, and what is 7th house? 4th from 4th and 7th from 10th from 10th. So that means the pendulum of watch touches all the kendras. So it is just like an anchor, So the most important houses in the horoscope are 5th house, Lagna, 7th house, 9th house. If they are good planets placed here, you can say that this gentleman is very well placed in his life, and his dasha is also running pertaining to these houses, then he is on the top of it. But if there are no planets in the Lagna, 5th house or 9th house, the horoscope becomes weak. The Lagna, 5th house, 9th house, 7th house. 7th house, when the pendulum stops there, then it is a mark-eyed, a person dies. So, the Lagna, 5th house, 7th house, 7th house, 9th house, most important houses. And together with the 10th house connected to the 5th house, 10th house connected to the 5th house will be excellent, because then the zenith is connected to the 5th house. That means your Purva Punya Karma will give results in this life. So that's about all, friends. Any questions?